Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, it don't work without you guys, man. Out running errands, picking up plywood, going to the dump and everything else. And of course, you know where my mind is, the Dallas Cowboys. Every day I'm thinking about the Dallas Cowboys, running through my head and stuff. You know, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of guys that actually get to do covering football and sports for a living. I'll be honest with you, man. I envy them. I couldn't imagine if that was my day job. I mean, I would work my ass off and make sure that I protected that thing. You wouldn't catch me doing some stupid stuff that would get me kicked out of my job. So, you know, shout out to you guys that are out there doing that work and stuff, man. You guys are truly blessed. So I do it for fun. And well, I need something to keep my mind occupied or I go crazy, you know? That's where I'm constantly thinking and thinking and thinking. And we're less than a week away from the trade deadline. You know, you see teams that are thinking that they're playoff teams that are possible Super Bowl teams that are making moves right now to try and shore up their teams, to try and give themselves that extra burst, that extra player that may take them over the top. You see New England, you know, with a great defense right now, playing, you know, Sister Mary of the poor teams. That defense of theirs is looking nasty. They are looking good. But their offense, not quite there the same. I mean, they've had spurts and stuff, but when you think of the competition they're playing, and when you start thinking that, you know, Pat Mahomes will get back in the competition of Kansas City, they went out and they got some more firepower in Mohamed Sanu. You know, so they're trying to get everything together, get their house in order to make sure that they have everything that they can. Now, Stephen Jones has said, you know, don't look for us to make any blockbuster trades or anything like that. You know, they feel good about what they have. But if you were the GM, if you were the guy, what would you do? What move would you make? What area would you look at trying to improve? For me, I got to tell you, offensively, I'm okay. We get everybody back healthy. I mean, we got a player in passing, receiving, rushing the football in the top 5 in every category there. You've got, you know, an offensive line that, when healthy, is great. I wouldn't look at an offensive line. In fact, I don't know that I would look for anybody on the offense at all. Your linebacking core, believe it or not, you know, they're coming along. They're taking a step back, but even Sean Lee has 21 tackles. He's actually playing pretty good quietly. In the last couple of games, I believe he's had 7 tackles and 6 tackles, you know, in relief roles. So I'm okay with our linebacking core. Our secondary, still, you know, a work in progress. I think they need to work on the combination of the players that we have in there. But what I would really say is a guy, I sound like a broken record about this, but for me, I still believe in the big men in the middle. And I think that is the thing that worries me the most. I had hoped that Tristan Hill was going to be ready this year to be that guy with his hair on fire, that can get that push, that can be dominating in the middle. That guy that's like a Calais Campbell, that immovable force. Because that, to me, is the biggest thing that I worry about, is having that Warren Sapp type guy. That guy who can take over a game. Another guy who's going to require you to have double teams. Because you put Robert Quinn on one side, who's been an absolute beast. You've got DeMarcus Lawrence now. I think DeMarcus Lawrence's problem was that shoulder injury, that surgery, that he didn't have training camp, that he's just taken time to get back to his form. And of course, teams are going to make sure that he's not going to beat him. So he's taking on double and triple teams. That slowed him down. But he's slowly getting back to where he belongs. But when you have a stunting defense, and that's what we have, teams can offensively play against that in the run game. We saw that with the Rams last year. We saw that a little bit with the Jets. And I worry about having that big guy, instead of being a stunter, a guy who could just clog up the middle. And that's where I would be looking around and see teams that are blowing themselves up right now that have that big tackle that can make a difference on the defense. What would you look for at the trade deadline here if you were the GM? Who would you trade for? I'd like to know. All right, guys, it's hump day. Tomorrow night we have the Redskins versus the Minnesota Vikings. That's going to be an interesting one. See if the Redskins have finally rolled over and died, or if they man up and try and get a win. You got Kirk Cousins playing against his former team, the Redskins, so you know he's going to be motivated. And you got Adrian Peterson playing against his former team, the Minnesota Vikings, and literally probably wants to take something out against them for having his career end up in Washington. At least you got storylines in it. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I want to thank you guys for being here. Think about the big man in the middle. I'll see you soon.